I'll show you how to trade with margin on crypto.com exchange. So we come to trade and then spot trading. And from here, we go to enable margin trading on the right-hand side and then click it on and off. It may pop up with a terms and conditions box if it's your first time. So go ahead and read that. And if you want to enable margin trading, you can do. This is the crypto.com exchange, not the crypto.com app. That's a different app. You can log in with the same account if you don't have an exchange account yet. It's an app and obviously the web platform. I'll leave a link below if you don't have an exchange account yet with the 5% fee discount. Even if you have an exchange account, you can put the code in and still get 5% off as well. So I'll leave the details down in the description box. But from here, we enable margin trading. And that means that crypto.com is going to give us leverage when we trade. And so what is that? Enable margin trading is when you can trade with more than the collateral that you have in your account, but you need some collateral in your account, and then crypto.com can let you trade with more than that. The reason being, the collateral that you have, whether it be dollars, stable coins, crypto assets, you can see it down here. I've got wallet balance and I've got available margin right here. So what that means is that's the liquidatable collateral that I have to pay for any potential losses from my margin trades. So a quick example, you have $1,000 in your account. With margin, crypto.com will let you open up a trade worth $2,000. So you're using 2x leverage on that, right? So you have 1,000, you open up a $2,000 position. So you're using 2x leverage based on your original capital. What that does is it makes the percentage move of your trade much larger in relation to original capital. So $1,000 of cash, a $2,000 position. If the asset you buy goes up 50%, that's like a 100% move on your original capital. So that 2,000 trade that you made, it's up 50%, that's $1,000. However, on your original capital, it's a 100% move. Now, it's the same to the downside, is that if you open up a long position and you buy with 2x leverage, and you've got $1,000 in your account, and then the price falls 50%, that actually wipes out your original capital of $1,000. And so all your $1,000 is gone. You will never get into bad debts because what crypto.com will do is make sure that you always have an amount of collateral here to pay for any potential losses. If your losses mount and it gets close to your original capital, they'll start selling off your original capital to pay back the loan position. So you're essentially loaning money to trade in the market here. You pay an interest rate, which I'll show you in a second, and then you can take leverage positions. Now, it's not just plain leverage. We can also use this to hedge positions that we have. So if you have a load of crypto in a hardware wallet, you don't want to keep sending it to the exchange. You can send an amount to the exchange as collateral and then take positions. So yes, you can just out and out leverage trade if you want, but that's probably not very clever. You can also use it to hedge or just put less on the exchange to take the positions that you want. Crypto.com exchange works on a whole of account margin basis, meaning all the collateral in your account is used to fund all of your potential trades. And so you may have more than one running. Now, what we can do if we want to segregate our accounts, because we're running different trades or different strategies, and we don't want one high risk strategy, right? Kind of polluting some of the lower risk stuff that we have. So what we can do is go to account management. So go to the top right hand corner, then click manage account here. It's going to take you through to this. You can create sub accounts right here. You can create as many as you want. That means that you can segregate different strategies, right? So you can put an amount of collateral in one account for one strategy, and then the other account, you can put separate collateral in there. Now, every sub account, that's a kind of whole of account margin basis, right? So all the trades you have are being collateralized by all the margin in there. So you can create sub accounts to segregate different trades and strategies. Margin trading fees are exactly the same as spot trading fees. And that's because we're actually trading in the spot market. We're just borrowing money to go ahead and do that if you want to take leverage. So the margin interest rates are important as well. This is what you're paying to borrow certain assets. So you can see these over time. Now, these are going to change over time depending on supply and demand in the market. So when a lot of people are trying to borrow, interest rates are going to go up. If not many people are trying to borrow, interest rates are going to go down. This is a yearly figure, but this is charged on an hourly basis. So you have to keep this in mind when you're trading, is that there will be a funding fee, right? This interest rate that you pay if you are borrowing money. So work that out. You can work it out. And if it's 10% a year on the amount that you trade, that's going to be actually charged on an hourly basis out of the account. So make sure that you have a buffer here to pay for any interest rates. And certainly in bull markets, interest rates are going to go up a little bit. Not the end of the world if you're long in a bull market, right? But it's something to be aware of and make sure that you have an amount of buffer here to actually pay for these interest rates over time. There are some terms we need to know before opening any trades. Wallet balance and available margin you can see in your spot trading account here. We're going to go over to our wallet, and then you can see that all here as well. Wallet balance is the total value of your account. So cash, any crypto that you have in there, any open positions, and that will change over time with prices. Available margin is the total amount that you have to open new margin positions. It'll work it out based on your cash or your assets that you have there. And then wallet health and effective leverage. Effective leverage is worked on an account basis. So if you put $1,000 in, you open up a 2x leverage trade. Now you have a trade worth $2,000. You're basically using 2x leverage on that original that you had. Now, if you add $1,000 of cash into your account, your effective leverage is basically 1x now because you have $2,000 of cash and you have a $2,000 position. So you're actually not taking any leverage, right? So you actually just pay off the leverage by adding cash into the account, even though you have the same position open. Now, if you took $500 away from your original, so now you only have $500 in your account and $2,000 trade, you now have effectively way more leverage on the cash assets that you have in your account. So effective leverage can trade based on how much cash you put in and out of the account. That's important because it works hand in hand with wallet health. Wallet health ensures that Crypto.com aren't going to take any bad losses from what you're doing, right? So if your account health is in good condition, that means that your effective leverage isn't a lot and you have a lot of cash to pay for the positions that you have. So no issues, right? So as the account moves into getting close into a loss or kind of break even, that's when Crypto.com are going to start to get a little bit worried. So when you go into the yellow, let's say you have $1,000 here and your total account value is $1,200, right? So you've taken a margin position, maybe in a loss right now. And so your total account balance with the cash that you have on account and the trade is now $1,200. But you still have this $1,000 loan that you've taken. Well, that's pretty close, right? There's a 20% buffer now to actually be going into a loss and not being able to pay back the loan. That's when Crypto.com are going to send you a margin call. So they'll probably email you or put an alert in your account to say, look, you've got a 20% buffer. You're losing money in your trade. You've got a $1,200 total account value, wallet balance, and you've only got $1,000 in cash to pay that. So you need to add more collateral, right? You need to add more dollars in to make your effective leverage come down so that you can pay for this position. Now, if it goes into the red, which is, let's say you have $1,000 in cash, but your total value, including that trade, which is now in a loss, is like $1,100, they're actually going to liquidate your position. So they're going to sell out in order to get that $1,000 cash to pay back the position and pay back the loan, because they don't want to go into negative equity. That's not what they're going to do. And you shouldn't be able to do that in your account, right? So if your wallet balance, right, including the trade and the loss you've made there, comes down to like $900, right? So you've now got essentially $900 of value in your account, but you've got this $1,000 loan. They're not going to allow that to happen. So you're going to get liquidated before that. So wallet health is something to keep an eye on for sure. And crypto is extremely volatile. And so the collateral can move up and down, right? And so if you're using dollars as collateral, then at least you've got that there. You know how much that is. But trades can move violently, right? So you have to be aware of this. Now, this wallet health can be changed. If you take money out of the account, then your wallet health may go down because now you've got less cash. If the wallet health is coming down into the margin call zone, the yellow zone, you can just add more cash to the positions, and then that sorts out your effective leverage and your wallet health again. And of course, you can just pay off the margin, right? You can just pay off the position, all right, with the cash as well. So wallet health is something to keep an eye on, especially when taking leverage. I'll open up a sample long trade using margin. Up at the top right-hand corner, you can see this 3x here. This sets a cap on your account. So if a trade were to take you over a certain amount of leverage, it will cancel out the trade. So 3x is fine for me. I don't think we should take too much leverage, right? So 3x, and that means that if I do open up a crazy trade like this, it's going to say, hey, it's too much leverage. You've said 3x is your max, right? So let's bring this down to something more appropriate, and then we can open up a trade. I'm just going to open up a market order so we get the order done, and we'll put an amount in here. Now notice this slider bar. Essentially, this is going to tell you if you're using margin or not. So if I have $88 in the account and I open a trade worth $10, I'm not going to be using any leverage or margin, right? I've got more than enough cash here. But if I open up a trade now, which is more than the $88, like $160 or whatever, that's more than I have in cash, and that's using margin. So we're going to open up an amount, just use the slider bar here, going to buy, just check all of that, press confirm, and that's going to open up the trade for us. Now what that's done is opened up a margin trade, and now you can see everything changes down here because we're using margin. And so we have an available amount, and we can also make sure that we have enough margin in our account to pay for any potential losses. Now that we have a long position open, we can see how leverage is placed on the account and how we can manage this. So our wallet balance is pretty much the same as before. This is now changing because we have an open position in Bitcoin. And so as the price changes, so will the wallet balance in total, because now we have a lot of the account value in a risk asset versus just dollars. Now, unrealized P&L for right now is basically zero because we just opened the trade. Margin balance, as you can see here, 87. And then the available margin is lower than that because we've tied up some margin in the account. So when you open a position, you have to pay some initial margin to open the position initially, and then you have to pay some maintenance margin as well. And then, of course, you have to pay loan fees on top of that. So that's tied up into the trade when you open it. Now, the effective leverage, it works out as 2.88. The reason being, if we go over to our account here and our wallet, we can now see that we actually have USDT and we have a loan of this amount that we use to buy the Bitcoin, right? So we've taken the full loan there. So what we're doing is trading with loaned money, and the cash that we have on our account isn't actually used to do anything. It's just there to pay for any potential losses, right? So the money that we used to actually open up the trade was borrowed. So now we have a negative position of 126 in USDT because that's what we borrowed to open up the margin trade. However, we also have a corresponding asset here that we bought, which is BTC, right? So we have basically that canceled out because we borrowed 126 and the BTC we bought is 125. So a bit of commission there, a bit of spread or anything. So you've got a liability, but you've got the asset on the other side. Now we can quickly see is that if the price of Bitcoin falls, suddenly we have the same liability, but we have less assets, to pay that off, which means our effective leverage isn't going to do too great, right? Because essentially the Bitcoin value in our account is going down. That's not great. So we have a liability and an asset here. And then obviously we can look at these. So if I go to loans, you can see that's the loan I took out. So that's the quantity of USDT that I borrowed to open the position and my interest rate, which is charged hourly. So that is how you actually borrow the money to open that position. Even though we did buy Bitcoin for the account, we still have the corresponding dollar liability, and that is our effective leverage. So if you want to reduce this, you can pay off the loan, and that's paying off the loan. But also what you're doing is reducing effective leverage because you've bought more of the Bitcoin with cash. So if you want to pay off the loan, come into your wallet, go to loans, you can see them here, then press deposit. That's going to bring up the deposit address for your account. You can transfer in some of the asset that you're using, either from a bank account or from another exchange or a wallet if you're using stable coins. It's going to bring up your crypto deposit address. If you press transfer, that just lets you transfer in from your other crypto.com accounts. And you actually add some of that asset because we've got a USDT loan. So we need some USDT to pay off that loan. And so what we can do is deposit. That pays off the loan. What that correspondingly does is actually buy the BTC with cash and reduces your effective leverage. Let's say if you just paid off half of this loan, your effective leverage would go down. That's paying off the loan to buy the Bitcoin with cash. We can also sell some of the Bitcoin that we have in our account now to pay off some of that loan. It's effectively the same thing. You're selling BTC for USDT, and because you have more USDT in your account, you can pay off some of that loan. So we're going to go to sell. And then we can sell an amount here. So I've got an amount of Bitcoin in the account. Let's just say I sell a small amount. We're going to go to a market order, sell some small amount of the BTC that we have. And then we're just going to sell BTC. You can confirm that. And then the margin and leverage balances should change as well. Now that I've sold off some of that Bitcoin, the effective leverage has gone down. Why? Because I'm just borrowing less. So I've got 1.97 effective leverage, and the USDT loan has been paid off. Reason being, I sold the Bitcoin into USDT, and that is automatically used to pay off that loan. So again, you can either sell the asset or you can just put in USDT, and any amount of USDT will essentially go towards paying off that loan. So what you can also do, of course, if you're making profits in a trade is, let's say you have a profit in the trade, you can sell out parts of that trade. So let's say you've doubled your money, you can essentially pay off all of the margin that you've traded with, and now you're just keeping the amount of BTC that you had, and that's your profits, right? So yes, you can use margin trading. when you want to trade with leverage. And then if you're making profits, you can reduce that leverage and start paying off those loans. In this example, I've used dollars to collateralize my positions, USDT, but you can use USDC or the other dollar stable coins. That gives us a solid base to work off because we know that that is a reliable value. However, if you start using crypto as collateral, which you can do, you're putting Bitcoin in here, for example, and then you're using that to trade crypto assets, you've now got double the volatility. Because let's say you put Bitcoin in to go long Bitcoin and you start losing money in the trade. Not only is your trade losing money, but your collateral value is also falling along with that as well. So you're really amping up the volatility. So with leverage, I don't recommend it, especially for beginners. It's something that we can use if you don't want to put all your assets on a platform, but it can certainly turn sour very, very quickly. So not recommended for anyone that shouldn't be trading this. Also, if you want to find out about futures trading, I'll leave a video guide down in the description below and some other helpful Crypto.com exchange guides, plus the trading fee discount down there as well. I'm James, this is MoneyZG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.